Well, where are those who really don't want Harry Kane to come to Manchester United? Obviously, his dilemma to Manchester United has started. And I think Daniel Levy is playing these games, but we who believe that he's not the kind of striker we need because of his age and his injury record are really happy and jubilant about this, because I don't want us to really go in for this player. You've always known my stand about Harry Kane, but dilemma, discombobulation has started around his transfer to Manchester United. And Marcus Rashford, for a situation coming in from the English national team manager, throwing in a warning to Marcus Rashford because he thinks he's a robot. I'm sorry to say, but they are managers that think the players are robots, according to me. And with the statement he put out, I think he needs to go all out and really find himself in a position of giving an apology to Rashford because of how loyal Rashford has been to the English national team. And lastly, very bad news for Erik ten Hag, because most of the players that we loaned have failed to meet the criteria to really sign a long contract at the teams where they are right about now. And who are we talking about again? It's not Eric Pay, it's about Alex Telles. So, welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. Good morning. Rokan David is my name. United Matters channel is the YouTube channel that you guys are really watching me on. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Where should we start? Rashford or Harry Kane? I think let's do Harry Kane first. Now, we're having a story coming in from Peter O'Rourke. He's a transfer correspondent for the Footy Insider. Has told us that Harry Kane is open to renewing his contract at Tottenham Hotspur if they appoint a world-class manager. Kane is said to be a huge admirer of Julian Nagelsmann and would be very much open to working with the German head coach. Now, to me, as a person who doesn't want Harry Kane at Manchester United, though when he comes in through and Ten Hag recommends him to come in through, I won't come out and really oppose Erik ten Hag's decision, but I wouldn't like to see him at Manchester United. That's it, because I believe there is much better that we can get from strikers like Victor Osimhen. There is Victor Osimhen, there is Vlahovic, there is Goncalo Ramos, there is Benjamin Šeško, and very many other forwards in the world that are really great. And when he hears such a story, I come here in happiness, because going in for Harry Kane is a plaster on the wound. To me, I see it as a stopgap signing, because in the recent years, we've been signing these old strikers. We started with Louis van Gaal when we brought in Falcao. You remember, Falcao came in through and really played one season and then left. He scored like 9 goals. After Falcao left, we went in for Zlatan Ibrahimovic under Jose Mourinho. You get? When Zlatan left, we brought in Edson Cavani. You get? All those strikers look like they're in their 30s, early 30s, and others in their late 30s. You get? After letting Edson Cavani go, we had Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo came in at 36 years of age. So, what are we learning from our mistakes? You get? Look at the teams that you're competing with. Chelsea have signed Nkunku. You get, he's coming in next season. Arsenal are having Gabriel Jesus, and they are willing to go in to sign another world-class striker. They are not going in for a stopgap signing of 30 years of age. No way. Look at Liverpool. Darwin Núñez. They're having Cody Gakpo. They're having Jota. You get? They are signing strikers who are really 22 years of age, 21 years of age. The next big thing. Man City. Erling Haaland, 21 years of age. Look at Julian Alves. Julian Alves, not yet even made his 20s, I think. So, we need to go all out and bring out a picture that is almost the same to the people we are competing with. You know, You can't tell me that you've been warned that the journey or the path you are taking has a lion, and you say, all right, for the past 1 year, that lion has not been, no one, for the past 1 year, no one has been affected by the lion whenever it passes into that path. You get? It's like telling you that someone is HIV positive. That's it. And you say, all right, for me, I'm going to sleep with that person, then I'll go later and really take PEP. You get? It's like you're testing God. Why should we test God? Why should we test God? Harry Kane has been having an injury-full career. You get? An injury-full career. And when you look, he's operating at Tottenham Hotspur, a team that doesn't have a lot of pressure and calls for what we call pressing and really working hard. He's the everything at Spurs. He gets everything on the silver plate. When he comes in at Manchester United, he has to work hard, and he has never been at a team when he's having the pressure. So, at England, he's the main man. Tottenham Hotspur, he's the main man. How sure are we that he's not going to flop at United? Because however much he's scoring in goals at Tottenham Hotspur, he can come at United and really flop. And he doesn't have a resale value, because you buy him at £100 million, £100 million, and then you bring him to Manchester United. What if he flops? What if he gets an injury? If you're having a player like Victor Osimhen, Benjamin Šeško, or Dusan Vlahovic, or Goncalo Ramos, they are in their early 20s. I think the oldest of all is Victor Osimhen, is having 24 years of age. Benjamin Šeško is going to make 20. Vlahovic is going to make 22. Goncalo Ramos is 21 years of age. Meaning that even if they flop for their first season, you'll have a lot of hope in them next season because they are still young. Look at Anthony. Amidst him not having a season we wanted him to have at Manchester United, but you are having those glances or cameos of him showing indicators that he's going to be a very good player, although he is at that age. He's 22 years of age. That is Anthony. So to me, it comes well out for me that we need to buy in young players. Look at Sancho. As he was celebrating his birthday yesterday, he made 23 years of age. He has not yet hit his prime. He's 2-3 years away from hitting his prime. So if at all a striker, all the players don't hit his prime, it's easy to always have a chance and even a resale value. So I don't want us to go in for Harry Kane, and I think we should change. Though you cannot rule it out completely that Harry Kane doesn't want to come to Manchester United. Things can change. Even Nagelsmann can come in through at Spurs, and obviously things change. Things can change. And you don't know what's running in the head of Harry Kane, because he pushed a move to join City in the summer of 2021. So if there is a golden opportunity for Manchester United to take him, you never know what Kane is going to go in for, because he would love to go on and really pay City in the same currency as being an opponent to face them at Manchester United. And he wants to haunt them for not raising the amount of money that Spurs wanted. And he might also want that revenge. So let's wait and see how things are going to pan out as far as Harry Kane to Manchester United is concerned. Dilemma has started. Let's go to the Marcus Rashford situation. Now, this England national team manager, known as Gareth Southgate, has found himself putting out useless comments on Marcus Rashford. And he said Gareth Southgate has hinted at a frustration with Marcus Rashford's regular withdraws from England squads, saying a player cannot be considered a loss if they are really present. And he said, well, the feeling was he was playing really well, but we haven't often had him. So in terms of a loss, when you haven't had him that often, then it's difficult. It's different to being a loss. But without a doubt, he was in good form. Now, to me, I know what has annoyed him, because Rashford was pictured in America, New York, because Ten Hag gave them a week off to really relax their bodies and return on Monday, and they're returning tomorrow to start training with the club of Manchester United. Rashford pulled out of the England national team because he said he was injured. And you look at the manager coming out in front of camera, attacking a player to that level. I think that's being selfish of Gareth Southgate. It's being naive, and he needs to go all out, and even he owes Rashford an apology. That's it, because Rashford has always been up and running for the English national team. The most recent event was the Euros. Rashford decided over his club career, because he was supposed to undergo a surgery, and said, all right, let me go to the Euros and spend close to 1.5 months. Those are like how many? Those are like 7 weeks before my surgery, and help my team. And shamefully, he was not even playing Rashford at the Euros. That is Gareth Southgate. He was not playing him. So right now he comes in and says he's supposed to be up. But how many times has Rashford missed out on international calls? I think every time they've called him up, he has been an obedient student and has always gone. I think the only times Rashford has not gone there is when the manager really dropped him. I think at the beginning of the season, he never even called him up for the international break. So does he have the mantle to come out and really say he's not available? And when you look at England, they're having a vast squad. I know he would have loved to have Rashford in his squad to play on the left attacking side of the midfield alongside Bukayo Saka, but that was not supposed to be because Rashford was injured. And you know, if you force such injuries, they will lead to a lot of effect that is negative in your future. You know, an injury that people take lightly in most cases results into huge injuries. Look at Marcus Rashford and Anton Martial. What Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did to them. For Marcus Rashford, he had a back injury and he was kept on the pitch all the time, and the back really worsened. He needed to rest for some good months to find himself in a position of really coming in to play for the club of Manchester United again. For Anton Martial, till now, is being affected. You get? So, these players are not robots. Mr. Gareth Southgate, these players aren't robots. They aren't robots. So please, style up. And for the next time you're asked a question like that, find a perfect answer to really tell the media, because that was not interesting at all. And Rashford, I think, never went well down his memory lane. Never at all. Never at all. Because that was something, he was like trying to really get the fans of England, go against Marcus Rashford, that he doesn't want to play for the national team, but he's so much wanting to play for the club. But when you look at what England is at, they won against Italy 2-1 without Marcus Rashford. Today they are playing Ukraine, and they're going to win that game at Wembley. So what's the importance of Rashford? You get? If at all it was the main tournament and he said, I'm not coming, all right, you understand. But I think that was uncalled for, Mr. Gareth Southgate. I think Rashford needs to really find himself in a position of really healing, because he's having a very fantastic season. And I think Ten Hag told him, don't force to go out the international break to play when you are really you're having a chance to break a record here. You can even score 40 goals. And I think we'll be one of those players to do that after Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think Ronaldo went ahead to score some 40, were there 41 goals in that season where he won the Ballon d'Or in the season of 2007-2008. He scored a total of 41 goals, 42 goals. That is Ronaldo for you. So, Gareth Southgate, shame upon you. Rashford needs to rest, and he's going to come back and play against Newcastle. That is next Sunday. Now, let's go to a list of players that are really causing headache to Erik Ten Hag. You know, having dealt with the problems of Ronaldo, Harry Maguire, and very many others, Ten Hag now has a very huge problem because of the players he loaned that he expected them to be sold, and they are not getting sold. Now, when you look at Manchester United, we are having players that we loaned and we expected them to be performing well and be sold in the summer, or move permanently out of United. Eric Bay is one of those. Eric Bay has to meet the clause of playing a certain number of games, and looks like he's going to fail to meet it. The next one is this player that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed to us. Alex Telles will return to Manchester United at the end of the season. Sevilla are not planning to make a bid at the moment. United will try to find a new option for him due to the performances of Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia. Now, when you look at the left back position of United, it's really full. Telles needs to be sold. He earns close to £80,000 a week at Manchester United, and Telles signed a 4-year deal in 2020. He's left with like 1 year, and I think he's having an optional year. So Ten Hag needs to make decisions on such players. I wouldn't like to see us going into the preseason with players like Telles. No way. I think these are players that, if Ten Hag doesn't need in his squad, should be sold. And this is to me a very huge blow, because at least would have gotten like £5-6 million from Telles. But who is going to get us that amount of money for Telles? If we get like £8 million for Eric Bay, 6 from Telles, that is £14 million. If we can get like another 4 from Twanzebe, that is £20 million. Then you add on the third of Scott McTominay, that is £50 million. You add on the 30 of Dean Henderson, that is £80 million. Harry Maguire like 40, £120 million. The other player, Brandon Williams, 10. So I really feel bad when those players that we loan are not performing well and they are not going to be sold, because obviously we've been told we are supposed to sell to buy players, and to back Erik ten Hag, that's what we are supposed to be doing. So it's really annoying, but I know you guys have your reservations, so I'm calling in for your reservations for those players that Erik ten Hag loaned and are going to return to Manchester United because they failed to fulfill all to really convince the coaches at their respective teams where they are loaned. Then tell me your thoughts about Harry Kane to United dilemma and Marcus Rashford frustration caused by the England national team coach. Your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Good morning, and I sign out for now. See you later. As Muslims, happy month of Ramadan. Not so? Enjoy, 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 enjoy. Fast, and Allah will reward you accordingly, because each and every time you fast, you give your soul energy and power. I'm out.